You say, what is it that you want? You've got everything that a woman could ever need in life. I got a closet full of minks, chinchillas. I got a bureau full of diamonds. I can change 4 times a day if I want to. You even trying to eat lobster and drink champagne. Now you know that ain't your boo. Cause you strictly a collard green and cornbread baby. Now you know if anybody knows, I know. But since you feel like that this evening, sit down and drink some champagne with me and let me rap to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the one and only Queen Bee. After me, there will be none. But you could call me Miss White. Most people know me as Little Kim, the head of the La Bella Mafia. Oh, shout out to my girl Victoria Gotti, the whole Gotti family. Stay up. This time around, I ain't taking no shit. This time around, I never get bit. This time around, I switched up my flow. Got rid of the pits and put rocks by the door. This time around, it ain't like before. This time around, I'm gonna crack your Joe. The feds is watching me, so I can't do much. Speak the wrong words, bitch, and you will get touched. I'm back on the scene. My favorite color is green. I'm building an empire. Got a whole new team. Pimp game is strong. Raps is just harder than they ever been. You can never win. Made my way through Hollywood, fashion world adores me. Music's my first love, a 9 to 5 bores me. Love me or hate me, Little Kim come through. My fans across the world, I came back for you. I came back for you. On incarcerated Scarface, gangsters with the bad cases. I came back for you. All my fans across the world, holla at you, girl. I came back for you. Everybody's waiting on me, all these hoes is hating on me. I came back for you. Mink rockin', Benz coppin', keepin' bottles it's poppin'. It's the real hip-hop, mommy, check the facts. I'm sick of all you acts with your bubblegum raps. Like the sand in the hourglass, you out of your time. Tryna go against the queen, is you out of your mind? Even being number 2, your chances are slim. Cause when God made Adam, he should've made Kim. I gave a few passes, but I never forget. It's enough, I gotta put up with this doodle brown shit. Now you wanna come at me from all sides, I'm getting money. Don't think I just be letting shit slide. I'm very concerned with fashion, ain't my fault y'all don't know how to rock this Hollywood thing. Y'all need to let me style you. Come back to the light, ma, I started the shit. How soon?
Not. Hey everybody, hope you're tuning in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. We got a lot to talk about tonight. It's the recap, and it's on Friday because we said we need to have an emergency conversation with everybody because people in this city is wilding. So I'm here with the champion for the truth, the real information of Camden, New Jersey, our #1 correspondent, Janice Dean. Y'all know y'all been following our work, and we know folks are keeping up on the work that's going here. Sister Dean, how you doing?
I'm doing good. What about you?
Baby, I'm hanging. Okay.
We finally got some sunshine in the weekend.
Got some sunshine.
You know what I mean?
Feeling good. So let's bust it open. All right. So the team is inside the studio. We're gonna have a conversation tonight. We got candidates coming on. This is going to be an opportunity for us to have a conversation with some of our candidates. They'll be on for a minute. Just so you all know, the recap is a broadcast that we do, community-led, community-driven, community voice, where we expose the lies and stand on the truth. We will not be intimidated by people in political office, authority, or media tough guys. We stand on business. Talk to us because we talk back. So the chat is open. Anybody want to get in, dive in the chat. We do view it when people are commenting, so we get the comments back and we do check it out. I know that some folks have seen some clips of some of our most recent recap broadcasts, and people have been giving us feedback. So it's good that it's getting out into the community. We love that for everyone. It's not about, I always say it's not about my voice, but people told me to stop saying that. It is about our voices. It's about our collective voices. So I got my good sister Janice here. We're keeping our ear to the ground and plugged in, and people are sending us information constantly about what's going on inside the city. So let's dive into it. Open up with the quote. Dean, I had to open up with this quote today. Mm-hmm. You see what that says? Go ahead, read it for me. Go ahead, tell me what it says. Come on, let the spirit hit you.
God, show me how to make who I am, who I want to be, and what I can do, and use it for a purpose greater than myself. Oh, Dr. King said it. I didn't say it.
Well, how serious is this for all of us to be able to see something like this in today's? Use me, God.
Use me.
Show me how to take who I am and who I want to be, right? To be greater than myself. That's where we're at right now. Use me. I want to be used. What do you say? You know what I mean? Use me up. I know there's two different things, but we just want to show the connection. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And so you use me, yo. That's what we're thinking about right now. I mean, we ain't talking about, sexually using us up. I'm saying the spirit of using us is here today. The using. Yes.
They know.
So if you're tuning in, welcome to the recap. Dre is in the building, y'all. Everybody say hey to Dre. Hey, Dre. Woo! Dre said he's hot, but he ain't under these lights tonight. But we over here dying, and Dre over here in the dark like, I'm cool. All right, so let's dive into it. So we're going to kick it off also with Wendy Williams, allegedly. It's a lot of alleged behavior going around here. I want to shout out to all the good that's happened, but you're going to see us flood allegedly through this conversation because people have been wilding.
Yeah.
They have been tripping. They have been they've been on one for an entire season. Like, we just got into June, y'all. It's just June, and people is cutting up in the worst way. So let's dive into it. So we don't have a lot of time because we got guests coming on, and we want to make sure that they get a chance to come in. So remember, we have candidates coming in today to talk to us about their platform.
Yeah.
We thought it was important for us to do a special broadcast to make sure that we're getting prepared for the primaries. We got to do a quick 1-2 on a school board because we ain't quick 1-2 on a Kansas City school district because they be still over here cutting up. So here you go. Let's talk about education.
Let's talk about education.
I was at an event, and I started getting some feedback from the superintendent's cabinet. I'm not going to name any names. If they want to remain nameless, that's fine. However, they came to me and said that the information that we gave regarding the salary for the superintendent was incorrect. They said that information was incorrect, and they were saying, no, that's not correct, or even down to the place where the deputy superintendent lives.
Okay.
Our apologies, but I want to make it very clear. We made it very clear in our statement. If we have something off base, if we are incorrect, fact check us, and we will bring the information out. So guess what we did? We got friends who did the fact checking. Because the people who told us they didn't give us information. They said that it's on, you could get it publicly. But I want to say this. Before we get started. If this information has been public and if we wanted to really make folks understand and be transparent, because the word transparent is being thrown around a lot through the current administration with the school district, through the current people running for mayor with Vic Carr-Starr, they said our team is going to be transparent. I was going to say it. I ain't going to say it. However, if it was in the spirit of transparency, we wouldn't have to dig through pages to find this information.
Right.
It would be posted. You all feel good because you would feel like I'm doing the work. I'm doing the work, right?
Definitely.
So my salary is posted. It's already public information. Yes, that's true. But it would be posted like, just in case anybody's wondering, here's the salaries, here's whatever, because that's transparency. Let us know where our tax dollars are going towards. Because the energy is like, I earned what I'm getting. How? How did you earn it? Just because you got a BA, an MPA, or whatever it is in public administration, even a doctorate.
Right.
So you earned it, but did you earn it from the people? That's the question. Did you earn it? Have you served the people? Because like we said, if I live for the people, I serve the people, right?
That's right.
All right, so let's get into the salaries, Dre. So we updated it. Kansas City School District Executive Leadership Team, y'all, Baskin-Robbins. You asked for it, you got it.
Well, what?
Leadership Team, updated 25-26. So here is the current salary in 2025 and what's going to be in 2026. Now remember, y'all, we're talking about a $91 million deficit. But I got a tap on my shoulder. The information y'all gained was incorrect. So here it is. The superintendent of schools, the state district superintendent who's leaving effective July 1, going to become assistant commissioner of education for the state of New Jersey. She makes $230K. Okay? Dr. Dana Walker, she makes $205,000. Teresa Reese, $177,000. I might round it up. Sheena makes $164,000. Tanya Beeman, $89,000. And Hakisha Teller, remember I had that number low, it was like 30, I had 35 or something like that? Oh, she makes $200K. $200K. And then Ashley Zimmerman, we didn't get that. And then Brian Gregg, who I had a conversation with. Mr. Gregg, I appreciate you for approaching me. You didn't take offense to it. But I want to say also that I named him. He makes $120K for being under Sheree Perry. And I didn't put her salary up here yet, but we're getting information on salaries. So I want to give you an update on other stuff I got. Ms. Teller, the BA, makes over $200K and works from home at least 3 days a week and drove a district car until she crashed it.
Ooh.
Wendy Wilms.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly it was an accident.
Allegedly it was an accident. But she does, allegedly 3 days a week she's out of the district and she works from home.
But can we just say that if we're in a deficit, why do we need district cars?
These are some questions I had. Because I'm sure with some good old people right down here in Camden City or in the tri-state area, maybe down here in the New Jersey, South Jersey area, that was qualified for this position.
Yeah.
But I also want to make it clear that we haven't had a consistent BA for a very long time for the Camden City School District. Maybe that's the reason why we can't get this budget right. If I'm just going to make it, we ain't have a stand-up BA in a long time. Other thing, Dr. Walker, she makes 205 plus. And then I allegedly heard that she makes an extra 10K plus when she gets from being a treasurer of Camden Enrollment.
Oh, there's that name again.
The Camden One Enrollment. She's a treasurer, so she gets an extra 10K for that. Let me know, because now I want folks to chime back in because y'all was sharing this around the people, and I know the district watches the page and y'all watch what we're saying. And listen. No apologies here. This is unapologetic information. We are only giving you the facts. So there's the updates for folks who want to know the salaries. Again, the salaries are posted up there if you can see them. But again, our solution is trim the fat. If we are trimming Camden High down to one principal and 3 lead educators and letting go of other principals, why can't we do the same thing in this cabinet?
Yeah.
Because again, the goal was what? To get us from under CUSAC.
Yeah.
And baby, we're $91 million and still in deficit and still in CUSAC. Y'all see this left hand going, so you know I'm about to get cranked up. But that's what I just had to say this. So Wendy Wilms, some things I said was allegedly, but let us know if it's true or untrue, because based on where I was sent to find the information and public information, that's what we got.
And it's all public knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me.
That part. Like,
All public knowledge.
You can look it up.
With no problem. So moving forward to the children who went to the state house to, well, actually the Department of New Jersey Department of Education. Thank you, friend.
No problem.
And they did a press conference / rally in front of the Department of Education. So these children, courageous, bold, consistent. Now I want to give you all updates. Remember when they did the protest back on May 19th?
Yeah.
They walked down to the school board building. They talked to Dr. Dana Walker. She wrote down tons of questions, and that's all live. All this is public.
Yeah.
They asked her, would she be able to get the superintendent to respond to those questions and talk to the children by a meeting? The children waited 3 weeks. May 19th until June 2nd. And the superintendent finally came to the high school campus. I was there. I did not go into the meeting. I did not push those children. I allowed them to speak their piece. Dr. Davida was inside. Davida Brockington was inside the space with them, but there was no other adults. So parents, if you want to ask your children about that, I think you should. However, the superintendent came with no cabinet, came by herself and talked to the children based on their questions. However, the students felt like they didn't, based on what they got. They said they didn't get what they needed. They said the questions were just very vague. It was just very, like, I wish I had my PowerPoint kind of vibe. Not enough. Not enough for those children. So they
It wasn't given seniority?
It wasn't given. It wasn't given sincerity at all.
Sincerity's my bad.
I'm with you. We get mixed up here. I am a public speaker, but I get tied up sometimes because, listen, perimenopause takes my brain and I come back. I'm in it. It's right. So with all that being said, the students went down on June 5th. June 4th, thank you, fact checkers in the room, and they were able to, we got a bus load and some chaperones. We had some college students, we also had some parents on the bus, and of course Camden Parent and Student Union was on there. And I want to say this to the community, I want to say this very clear, the community was on board. A lot of folks said they couldn't make it up there, a lot of folks had to work, a lot of folks don't work in Camden, so they had to go to their job and other things like that. However, the students were supported, they were sending messages over saying, go students, we support y'all, we're for you, and they were saying, showing love to the students. I want to shout out the Camden Education Association, they were there with the students. New Jersey Education Association, they were there, and they also bought the students lunches. I want to shout out our sponsor, Watu Mojo, who bought the students a bus.
Yes.
They paid for that bus. They said we can't be there, but we will pay for a bus because we don't want to see them stuck at all from doing what they think they should do. I also want to shout out the Camden County East Chapter NAACP, the youth council. They came and supported them because they were like, listen, we were just in that kind of fight just in Collinswood maybe a year ago.
That was so awesome.
You know what I mean? It was some good stuff going on there, and then you had other supporters that were there. With some folks that were there from the district that were the recently ripped FLCs. They were there as well. So we just want to shout out people that were there to support children. But what happened was, we make this very, very, very clear. Our press conference was slotted to begin at 10 a.m. We were delayed, so it was on our Camden Parent Union page, Facebook. You can check it out. The sound's a little choppy, but you can get it. I do want to say that the assistant commissioner did come out to listen to the students speak. He was there. I want to give him Mr. Duckett. He did come out and he took notes and stuff, and he did say they're going to do a follow-up meeting with everyone from the DOE. However, inside the building, inside the meeting that was happening, remember, y'all, make it clear, we were posting that there was no public portion to speak, no public comment. Right. Now, they're saying that the State Department of Education announced that back in May, that they were going to have a public comment for June. But our thing was, don't you all have the power, Commissioner of Education for New Jersey, to amend the agenda and say, because in light of the things that are happening in Camden, New Jersey, with this budget crisis, I believe that we should give the people an opportunity to speak about how they feel. Remember, we did not have a local school board meeting. The superintendent merged the special meeting that was supposed to be just a budget hearing with the so-called Mays Advisory Board meeting. I'm still going to say it. That wasn't right. It wasn't transparent. No. It wasn't clear to the community, and it didn't give people a chance to come back and talk to anyone about the budget because it was all meshed together in one. So it's like, I'm announcing this budget issue and letting y'all see the PowerPoint, you and Ms. Taylor, and then you're going to say we're going to have public comment and have budget public comment and also any other comments, and then call at the advisory board meeting for the month of May.
Not to mention, it was never advertised, right?
That part.
So they didn't advertise this is a special meeting because of the budget and because these amount of people are being laid off. We're doing this special meeting.
Absolutely.
But following up on this date will be the official. They never posted any of that.
Yes.
So it was very misleading.
Very misleading.
On the same day that we had city council meetings.
The same time. Thank you for bringing that point up because that was another issue too. So that's a backstory on Camden. So moving forward to the state board meeting, they had no public comment because when you do a public comment, shout out to Gary Frazier and many others that were saying that you got to first of all, you got to register, and then you got to make copies of your public comments and give to every board member. So we went inside there, and we found out that the superintendent of schools was there. Katrina McCombs was there. She was there along with her cabinet. Her and Ms. Teller presented their PowerPoint again. Manufactured misery is what I call it. And they talked about it's manufactured misery. They just set up and talked about pretty much saying we've done all we can. But now it's out of our hands because people are making school choice. Now I want to get in this. I got to take my glasses off for 1 second, so I might get upset.
Give us the tea on school choice.
Y'all look this up. Fact check me. School choice in Camden is a scam. Absolutely. A straight scam. School choice started from white mothers choosing to take their children out of school where black children resided at. Okay, that's school choice. That's what they call school choice. That's where it came from. It came out of white folks saying they didn't want their babies to go to school with our black children. So they said we have the right to have school choice. So they created another community for their children to go to school at where black kids couldn't go to them same schools. Look at, and they hijack them, trying to make it seem like these corporate managed operating schools are now school choice schools. They're not school choice schools because you're offering the same exact thing that our traditional public schools are offering, but they just put it in a shiny package with a new building. So please don't start this. The reason why we're in this deficit because people are choosing school choice. Y'all gave us a poison pill. It's called the Urban Hope Act that led to a state takeover that led to the Renaissance schools that led to the one Camden enrollment. That's the poison pill.
Don't give us the state.
And that's the reason why we're in the situation we're in right now, which could have been avoided, quote unquote, quote by Dr. Keith Benson. He was warning this superintendent trying to work with her in the years that he was the president of the CEA, trying to let her know that we didn't have to do it this way, but the superintendent still did not work with us. Now, I also want to say about this, I got to go on a little tangent for just a second, y'all bear with me. The superintendent and us, we used to talk a lot. If anybody remembers, when the superintendent first became in office in her first year as the appointed superintendent, we all used to meet with her monthly.
Yeah.
She would come and say, yeah, we want to talk, I want to meet with everybody, I want to talk, I want to boom, boom, bam, I want to da-da-da-da. We were texting each other saying, hey, what do you think about this, what do you think about that? It was truly community. Not because she listened to me or Janice or our team or buying them. She was listening to the community, and we were seeing that what we were saying to her pressed her heart to say, let me try something different. And then around that time when she did the boxing glove thing, that's when she started shifting. And I reminded her about the boxing glove, not in the spirit of you were fighting for us, but in the spirit of you need to go. I'm like Denzel Washington. You need to put them boxing gloves deep under your bed and get on your knees and pray. Because something's not right. So I'm not going to sit up here and make it seem like we did not have a good relationship with the superintendent of Camden Public Schools, Katrina McCombs. We used to meet with her all the time, and then things started shifting when she started doing less of community first and started making a statement of students first. Well, who's in charge of students? We are, the community.
Yes.
So I had to take my glasses off for a second about that. So that whole thing about school choice is a scam. Please stop that. Renaissance Schools is not offering anything different from what our traditional public schools are offering. But what y'all chose to do was vacuum out of our traditional public schools every possible resource you can get, including our money.
Yeah.
Our students walking around with a backpack full of cash.
Yeah.
You send them over to the Renaissance Schools. The Renaissance Schools say something like this because they don't have to go under our curriculum.
Right.
We don't offer that here. So that student will be kicked out of that school in October. That money stays inside that school, and now we come back with a deficit because that child has to return to their what? Neighborhood school. Tell me where I lied. Fact check me. Tell me where I lied.
No lies.
Tell me where I lied. So the truth be the truth. The truth is the truth. And I'm getting tired of this whole rumoring around, oh, Rasha, and she all just want to make it sound she know everything. First of all, I got a family too.
That's right.
Second of all, I represent everyone's family.
That's
Third
right.
of all, it's not personal. It's not about Katrina McCombs. So if she got family members that's hating on me or got attitudes of me, don't want to talk to me, it's not about her. It's about what has been done.
Yeah.
It has been what has been done. Same thing with Mr. Karstafen, the mayor. It's not about him. It's about what he had the power to do. You were elected. I'm not elected.
That's right.
We're not elected.
That's right.
We are residents holding space to make sure that our community gets the truth because they're not telling the truth.
Not a once.
And we're going to show you that when we talk about the rest of this recap. That's why it's an urgent recap.
Urgent.
So you got the salaries. The students made it up there. The commissioner, the assistant commissioner came out and spoke to them. Also want to say that the students did a really good job reading their statements. They also wrote letters to the commissioner, urging the commissioner to do a few things. We didn't put the demands on here, but to rehire all the people who were laid off. And they also gave compelling stories about how these people made their lives different. These students are suffered. I don't want to use the word like, oh, they suffered mental health illness. These students suffered loss. They suffered loss. They lost time. They lost experiences. They lost opportunities to build friendships in classes.
Yes.
Can you imagine somebody who was in first grade being in COVID and away from their friends for 2 years,
Yeah.
to 1.5 years or so, and missing that gap of like building friendship?
Yeah.
That's what they lost. So now,
Yeah.
it's that social development, right?
Yeah.
So now they're moving forward with this emptiness, this vacancy inside their heart of something is not right. I feel like I missed something. I missed the words on the wall and the ABCs and the colors, and I missed the states and the countries and the games. I missed the song, the teacher that would sing me the songs. I missed that because I got fast tracked to the computer. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am. And can I just say,
Please say.
the students that did show up, it was students from all different campuses. There were just, that were speaking about, because I saw some comments and people were, and I thought it was very disrespectful and it was mean and hurtful to say that staff or teachers were prompting these students.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
This is how these students
Felt.
Those teachers meant everything to them. They were their support if they were having a bad day.
Right.
If they, FOCs were going above and beyond.
Yeah.
And to say that people were prompting them or
Yeah.
making them do that
Right.
is very disrespectful.
It's-
That's how those kids felt.
Yeah, and it's a dig on the students like they don't have common sense. But I've had to make the statement to
Right.
everybody. When I was in high school, when we were in high school,
Yeah.
we were thinking about our schoolwork, going to prom, playing ball, running track, getting our academics up. We were not thinking about protesting. But these 14, 15, and 16-year-olds are thinking about protesting. Y'all got, listen here, Camden, I'll never judge us, but we got something to think about with that. This is not the first rodeo. We did it 12 years ago, and we're still the next generation doing the same exact thing.
Yep.
Come on, y'all. This is crazy. That's why I said we got to have an urgent conversation tonight. So click what you want out of this conversation. Text people, screenshot what we're saying. Say, oh, here she go, whatever you want to say. But I want to say this again. We are very easy to find in the city. You can see us everywhere. Find us everywhere. I don't sit behind this camera. You can see me on the streets.
Yeah.
Picking up my grandbabies. You'll find me.
Yeah.
So if you want to say something, have a conversation, but come to me with respect.
That part.
That's it.
Respect.
Okay, so the students did a great job. More to come on that. We thank everybody who supported them. And their statement was, quote, by Dr. King again, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
That's right.
They're fighting for education equity, so we appreciate that. Check out the articles that went out. I just want to say the side note, the superintendent was there, and she did not come out and greet those students.
No, she didn't.
And that was hurtful to me. And we've seen this done before. The last time we were in protesting at the State Board of Education building, the same thing she did. She walked out and she was walking with her children. I get it. I get it, superintendent, that you have daughters and you have a husband, you have an image and all those kind of things, but you keep saying students first.
Yeah.
You keep saying students first.
That's the part.
And you have a responsibility. She who wears the crown. So you cannot avoid talking to students who made their way all the way up to Trenton on a bus to speak their piece, and you're inside giving a manufactured misery PowerPoint about how this is school choice, this is the result of that, instead of telling the truth about you should have stopped Renaissance schools, you should have stopped the urban hope, you should have stopped these one Camden enrollment, you should have stopped all these things. You had the power to say, let's us get, excuse me, state people, we need some monitoring down here because I'm not certain this is working.
Yeah.
That's what a heart would have said. We need some monitoring down here, and then sound the alarm to us.
That part.
And said, I've been to the state and they're not responding to what I'm telling them. I'm telling them that we need some triage down here. You didn't do it for us. You never told us that because you stopped talking to us and y'all all started judging us like, oh, they're just the noisemakers, the naysayers. I'm not saying you, superintendent, I'm saying your people. You got you got some nasty work going on in your cabinet.
Yeah.
But you hired them.
Yeah.
You let them sit there with you.
Yeah.
You think they,
behind them.
and you, say it again?
And you hid behind
And you hid behind them. You think they're praying for you. But they're praying on you.
Oh.
A.
P-R-E.
And P-R-A. See that? You think they're praying for them. They're praying on you. You don't know. So if anybody can hear us in the earshot, this is where we at right now. We are not holding back because our children's lives are at stake and our community is at stake. What can happen? And listen, I go to my African Wallahi. Listen, they're trying to make this Hurricane Katrina 2025 in Camden City School District. In 2 to 3 years, it's going to be a whole different community. It'll be the Renaissance Camden City School District.
Yeah.
And Renaissance didn't start here. It started in Chicago, then went down to New Orleans. Don't think we not track what happened. Renaissance 2010 happened in Chicago. Then it went down to New Orleans, and they keep shuffling the same concept of Renaissance across the state, across the country, and Renaissance is not new. Y'all just biting off of what they did in Chicago, what they did in New Orleans, what they did over there in Oakland, what they did in Philadelphia. Y'all keep shuffling the same people around. They did in Newark, the same exact thing. Y'all think that we not up on what's going on?
We up on it.
We up on it. We not playing this game. Say it again.
It's just a money scam.
It's a money scam. It's a money scam.
To siphon money out of public education, we had to find a way.
Get that mic. Get that mic.
To find a way to get public dollars into private entities. So corporate charter schools and legislation was written.
Yes.
So that they had access to public education dollars. So they have access to taking, which puts us in a deficit and allows them to have more access to more dollars that they don't have to be held accountable for.
Right.
That's all it is. It's a money scam. It's
Period.
nothing different. There's nothing new written under the sun. When the housing crisis happened, they couldn't siphon money out of the housing budget. When Wall Street crashed, they turned to public education dollars and they wrote legislation to be able to pull money from it.
Absolutely. Well said, sister. Nothing to say about it. So we're going to close that door and we'll talk about one more thing. I just want to dive into this, one more thing, because a couple articles came out recently and it was good coverage to Melanie Burney and Kenneth Burns. Thank you all for covering Camden in the ways you're covering Camden. Articles are coming out and people are really up in arms. Now, I have to say, if I lost my job, Ronsha, and it was done in such a malice way, in a disrespectful way, I don't think that you can control this mouth. Y'all couldn't control Dr. King's mouth. Dr. King was on here giving out quotes every day like, this is wrong, this, you couldn't control it. As peaceful as Dr. King was, and he was a nonviolent man, it's important that we talk about when you hurt somebody and you take away their livelihood, people are going to speak out about that because it was done in such a disrespectful way. Had people known in January that risks were coming in May, they would have been preparing themselves in January.
Right.
But y'all didn't get, go ahead.
Is this slide?
We on, yeah, I'm not, Dre, go to the next slide. So we're going to go back to this Camden City School District, the budget crisis slide. Go down, go up one. Right there, perfect. This slide, and y'all might say, oh, Ron shouldn't the slideshow queens. No, this is, we give you data, we give you images so y'all can see what we're talking about. Visual support, but we don't hide behind this computer. We tell you the truth. Transparency is not what we're doing. We're giving honest facts. So behind the superintendent made a quote. Here's all the people who are going to be abolished. All the positions are going to be abolished and reduced. Go ahead, Dean. Go ahead. Give me, because I want to catch up with you.
Where we at, right?
So
here?
yeah, about what we're
Behind
saying.
every number is a person, a colleague, an educator, someone who has given their time and talent to our students, schools, and communities. Katrina McCombs.
That's a quote the superintendent's been using, and it was quoted inside the paper, right? So we want to ask the question: when these people have these 117 employees have been fired, abolished, reducing their positions,
Right.
what did you expect them to do? Do you expect them to sit down and be docile, be
Right.
quiet? You don't think they should be enraged and up in arms about what's going on?
That part.
So the question, and I think the entire cabinet, this is allegedly what I'm getting back, is that you all are judging people based on you feel like they're not being a good representation on their responses, because now you're clocking them on social media. But if it had been you think you would have sat there and been quiet? Y'all gotta be realistic about this.
Right.
I just found out in the month of April that I lost my job. It's May, and I'm out of here in June. I just found out I had terminal cancer. What do you expect me to do? Even if it wasn't that bad, what about if I was just pregnant, beautiful, giving life to someone? I gotta now change my whole trajectory of what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna lash out. I'm gonna be upset. Everyone can't reserve everything.
Right.
However, we got a question for you all, to the district that's watching, to people who are in the community that are watching and saying, oh, here they go. Here you go, a question. What is the path forward? If all these positions have been abolished, and there's still vacancies and other positions, and the people who've been fired have tried to apply for another position, what's the process for that?
Yeah.
Shouldn't they be the first ones that's getting interviews?
It should be first on the list.
Should they be the first ones that's getting the opportunity to show their talent and show it in other areas?
Yeah.
Especially if they have the certification.
That part. They should already
You
have
see what I'm
these
saying?
people's resumes.
They should be the
in the
first ones.
system.
Say that. They should be the first ones in the system. Like, you know what? Let me call. You know what we got? Because remember, she said 97 or 92. Fact check me on that. Vacancies.
Yeah.
90. It was over 90 vacancies.
Yeah.
If those vacancies can be filled by these people, then why wouldn't we bring them back? If they got certification, they can go. They can step up a tier, or maybe find another salary that way.
How about this?
Go ahead. Give it to me.
In the midst of this situation, they should have reached out to these people. Hey, I saw that you were a
Blase, blah.
Hey, we have this one open. Let's make this
Are you
smooth
open to?
transition.
Let's slide you into this. But we're trying to figure out what's the process here, because it feels like it just feels like allegedly that there's some retribution happening, there's some pushback happening, and these folks are trying to figure out their livelihood, and that's just making my tummy hurt. It really is. Dre, don't laugh. It's just making my tummy hurt. I'm serious. Like, my tummy is hurting from this.
Jamaica, my tummy hurt.
Moving forward. So now, I want to shout out the Community First Rural Democrat for Camden. They put a billboard on saying, take our city back, take our schools back.
Yeah.
I love that. Say no to the machine. We need to see the other side. Like, it hasn't been enough of the other side. But then there was a mailer that went out, and this hurt my heart. Look at this one. It says, City of Camden. This is on their website, their social media,
to take it down, but
social
we
media
called it.
page. But we got it. It said, Uncommon Schools, Camden Prep, welcome all Morgan Village families. Make Camden Prep your next step. How? Mayor, what is going on? I have never seen you make a post about Camden Public Schools. Glasses coming off again. But you and your team said, let's support by giving the Uncommon a free post from us.
Wow.
This is abuse of power at its highest level. This is collusion at its highest level.
Right.
Why didn't you put a post up saying our schools are welcoming all of our children? We know that you have not made a statement about, we know this is hard for everyone. We know this is difficult times. But instead of that, you put your money where your mouth is. Right here, City of Camden government supports Uncommon, welcoming all the Morgan Village families who's being kicked out their school, to let that school become a alternative school. So Rise Academy and is it Sword? Just Rise. Rise Academy, give them a whole free school.
Total of 28 students.
Total of 28 students, and kicked out all those Morgan Village baby, the principals, the lead educators, and everybody, because y'all want to do this kind of collusion stuff. Y'all think, listen, this is not a game.
We caught you.
Caught you.
Caught you.
All right, Wendy Williams, allegedly.
And I will say, Rashi, before anyone, gets all cranky, I was at the State of the Union address for the mayor.
And he did?
He briefly
Thank you.
did say that he
Thank
wanted
you.
to address the elephant in the room.
Thank you.
About the $91 million deficit.
Mm-hmm.
However, me personally, it still wasn't what the community needed. It wasn't what the staff needed. It
Right.
wasn't what the students needed.
Right.
Because why didn't you come and address those students, address those staff?
Right.
I don't know. I don't feel
Yeah.
this is Janice talking.
Go ahead.
Like, I don't feel that you guys really care about the students.
Mm-hmm.
You guys don't ever like truly bond with them. If you're coming, it's like a photo op or
Right.
you want a video. Like you're not really truly saying, I feel bad for you that
Right,
this happened.
right.
And if he said he claimed he called the Department of Education, okay.
Right.
But then what did you do after that?
Like Kendra Moore said, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough, y'all. It's not like y'all think that is enough. That's not. And then the state of address or that rally he had for himself and all the people who came in there, that wasn't the whole community.
It wasn't.
The mayor, you have the platform in your position to make statements, to go on live, to hold town halls, to hold listening sessions. You have the power to help us. But it's not happening. Moving on. Thank you, Dean, for that. This picture speaks to it. I just want to say, it's not a dig. It's not a dig. But the mayor had what is it? I got some.
Lit. You got some lit here.
I got the paperwork out here, so you all should have got this in the mail. You know, they send out 1,000 of these things about who all supports Vic's pick. But it says pre-election day rally, Vic Karstoffen for mayor, Angel Fuentes, Noemi, Muhammad, Autumn, city council at large at the pub. So this picture here that's on the screen is at the pub. Now in this picture right here is city council people, and it's also school board people. Now I got to pause. So pause here. I was at the last school board meeting and I heard the school board members make statements. But I have not heard one school board member say anything about these students who protested, have come to school to talk to those students that protested, even liked a picture of them doing something and taking action at the State House. You all have not used your voice as community leaders, and of course you're part of the Democratic committee team, the city committee. I see this is why you probably are all in this picture. However, I'm looking at the school board members with a side eye saying you all had an opportunity to show these students. It ain't about the adults. To show the students that you stand with them. They walked down to the school board building.
Yes.
It should have been school board members behind them saying, this is what we
Yes.
stand with these children.
We stand with you. Exactly. And this is my thing, Marsha. And listen, like we say, fact check, right?
Fact checkers.
Fact check. But the majority of the people that are on the advisory board,
Go ahead.
when I look on their Facebook page, everybody's posting Vic's pics.
There it is.
Everybody's posting Vic's pics. But you guys sit on the advisory board of the School Board of Education. Why didn't you guys post about the superintendent? I think I saw one person repost the flyer. But what I'm saying is that, like, for example, Nnamdi Nelson, right? You're the president of the school board.
Right.
But you, when I look at your page, you're posting videos about Vic.
That's it.
Vic's pick. How well Vic did in the city.
Come on.
Why aren't you posting videos about, hey, community, come out.
Yup.
This is your chance to be a part of the new superintendent.
Yup.
Voice your post about your job.
Absolutely.
If not, resign. Resign
Yep.
and go fill out an application to work for the city.
That part. That's the part right there.
Because we
You
got
gotta say
people
it.
in
You
the
gotta
city
say it.
who would love to be the president of the school board.
Even if it's advisory. We saw that people love the position, but then I'm going to say this. I know we got guests, y'all. We got guests coming in. I know we're going a little long, but we're going to be wrapping this up in just a few more minutes. The thing is that let's not play this game. We're not going to play this game.
No.
We've noticed that people who get into the seat of the advisory school boards, when the people elected us the right back to vote,
Yeah.
they move from school board to city council.
Yep.
School board to city council.
Yep.
Just follow the track. We're not playing this game with y'all. We understand what's happening. Y'all put them on Democratic committee first.
Yeah.
Get them all ready for whatever you need to do to become your little chess pieces.
Yeah.
After they become your chess piece, you then move them to run for school board seat, because y'all feel like y'all got it right in, like you gonna slide right in, because what happens is the mayor says, these are my picks.
Wow.
Then they pull them into the collusion at the highest level. Then they pull them into the school board. They sit there not really having much information about what's going on. We know more about what's going on in the school board than they do. But I don't mind giving y'all an education. I don't mind giving you an education, people say, for a consultant fee. However, on the other side of that, when they need somebody to fill in a seat over at the city council, they take one of those folks from the school board and put them over to city council. Prime example is here. This is not a dig at Fallio. That's what happened. Fallio was on a school board, and then he moved to city council. Oh, another person that did that. What's her name? That Felicia Reyes. Felicia Reyes. She did the same exact thing as many more. I'm just saying that that's the trend. Not a dig at people. Truth. Just the facts. No allegedly. It's the truth. We watch. I mean, it's documented. You all move from school board as advisory or appointed, and then you go over to city council. Another thing. Next one. This is a community win here. We are the ones that asked for us to have a search process. They've done it before, but we wanted to make sure there was community input. So now there's a superintendent search process. It was done before with Pay My Rahana for, but I want you to keep an eye on this. The HYA Associates, I'm not sure they already said one of the country's premier superintendent search firms. They were selected to in a competitive bid process that required multiple rounds of review. I don't trust anything that says competitive bid. Search firms, I don't trust it because it doesn't include community voice. So now they're including community voice. They're saying that they're sending a survey out from the school district. I have been contacted by Sheena. I have also been contacted by Sheree, and they're saying, please share this out. No problem, we're sharing it. However, we are keeping a close eye on what's going on. This firm, we're looking for a superintendent. First of all, we don't want to state appointed superintendent. We need y'all to get us from under CUSAC. Stop playing in our face, y'all.
Yeah.
Stop it. This is fool's. We do not need another
vote for our people.
We want to vote. We want to make sure we got people on the school board that can ask questions like, no, we're not going to pass this budget. No, we're not passing this salary. No, we're not passing. That's what we need. We don't have that. Everything the superintendent right now, state appointed says, everything slides right in and goes to the state. And then she goes there and makes the person, her or Paymon, it's only been two, goes in front of them and make a compelling presentation about how bad it is in Camden. They're doing the best they can, and all you got is a bunch of head nodders.
And a directed survey.
Turn that mic. Turn that mic.
A directed survey does not mean community involvement.
It doesn't.
That is not the definition of community involvement by passing out a survey with directed questions.
Right.
Okay.
You should allow us to put what questions do you have, right? So we're gonna move up next. So here's the flyer. You all should get it by email. If you did not get it by email, let us know. We will share it. But there's a few things happening. There's a forum. There's a community forum that's gonna be on Zoom on June 9th.
Because this is what I needed a video about.
Come on.
This is what I needed.
This part.
The advisory board.
Yes.
Because you can at least do
Post this.
You can
Post this
do
for
that.
us. At
They
least
got big pics up though.
it's Jamaican my tummy hurt.
Real
Jamaican my tummy hurt.
Real
So
bad.
community forums are happening. They're facilitated by this team, this firm, HYA, so careful. And one's happening on Monday, day before primaries, June 9th, and then one's happening that one's virtually. So get that password and get that out there. Then the second one's happening on June the 16th in person at Dudley Family School. So we'll be there. We will be there. We'll represent, and we're gonna hear y'all out. We're gonna hear y'all out. However, we're not going to stop this fight because we are demanding that we get from under state control. We are demanding that our government, whoever is running or currently in office, what's it called? The word for repeal. Words don't become too fast. Repeal the Urban Hope Act. We're done. We're done with this foolishness because this could have been avoided. Quote by Keith Benson, Dr. Keith Benson. This could have been avoided.
Yep.
All right, moving forward. Let's talk about elections. Talk about voting. Thanks, Dre. Next slide.
There we go.
So here we are. We talked about this. If you missed this, go back to our previous recaps, right?
Yes.
We already talked about this. The ballot has changed. Before it was columns, vote 1, 2, and 3. It's no longer columns. You are now voting by office. So make sure you get your ballot, sample ballot. Sample ballot in the mail. You got a sample ballot. Make sure you read it, research it before you go into the polling station, and make sure you already know what you're going to do. You can actually take this with you as a guide, right? Remember, you're going to get a paper ballot. You're going to go over to a booth. You're going to circle in where you would like to vote for, and then you're going to go take that ballot and place it inside of a machine.
Yeah.
Do not put that ballot anywhere else but inside that machine. If you did not circle the shaded areas, shade them in those little circles, it's not going to be counted. If you gave your ballot to somebody and say, here, I finished voting, they're not going to count it.
Gotta put it through the machine.
Gotta put it through the machine. So if you need support with that, again, Camden Parent and Student Union is doing everything we can to make sure civic education is a real thing in Camden City. So here's a picture of what the ballot, the machine looks like. You can go to the next slide, Dre. The voting machine looks like this. And we're going to go into, let's go down a couple slides. So we have, this is the team that's running Vote Community First. We're going to have some of their candidates on tonight. Wendy Williams is a reminder of allegedly. Let's go to the next one, Dre. We can go down some. Keep on moving. This is the team that's going to be on tonight. Wendy Williams, we're still on allegedly Spirit. Also, careful. You know, because these people are here playing in our face. But let's get into the other team is running as well. We told you Team Vic. He's running 3 candidates for at-large. You see him here. And then I wanted to talk about, before we get into the candidates, I want to talk about one more thing. So this is where it allegedly goes with this. This is another event that Mr. Carl Starford is doing, our current mayor. And circling the picture, this is not a dig at him, but we're trying to figure out why does the mayor keep Minister Wasim Muhammad at his events. We're still trying to figure it out. I don't understand it. I mean, he's welcome to walk around the community. He's from the city, but I just wanted the optics are still not doing well. And in front of him, that's Sister Nora Muhammad. So we talked about this earlier. You want to hear our opinion on it. It's not a dig at the Muhammads, Mr. Muhammad or Nora Muhammad. They're not in any engagement or any situation. But that was a cookout that happened at Miss Deborah Polk's house. And I know, allegedly. So we're keeping eyes on all this going on. We're keeping an eye on who's in the room and also some things being said. Let's dive into the next part real fast. So this picture here, I don't know if y'all, who was their campaign person, does their images?
Who does it?
Vic, I love you. I mean, you played ball, but I don't know if this was the image that you know.
It's not given.
You got it. Y'all got it.
It's all insult to the community as well because you reduce yourself to this.
Yeah.
This is what you reduce yourself to as a mayoral candidate.
Yeah.
This is what you want people to see you as.
But and on the other side of it, I can hear the community saying, no, he down to earth, he with us, he smokes cigars with us. You can see him over here, you can see him over there, you can see him at the pub.
Great, but can he run a city?
That part. So the question is being asked, and we want to hear this in the chat. What has the mayor done that you feel like has been significant in a change of the city? We want to ask that question. This mayor currently, because I can't talk about previous mayors because I want to ask that question to them too. But what have they done significantly besides what Tasha Smith said, changing, improving our streets?
Everybody's asking that question. It's not just you.
But because we want to do like an open poll, like tell us, name some things that he has done, and if it's personal stories, we want to hear because we want to give the street, we want to give information from the community. So this is what it's for. The platform is for that. But I just thought this picture was kind of funny to see him like doing a peace game or what have you, team player with his three running mates. So it was kind of funny. So this video here, do we have this to play, Dre? This next slide. Can you I want to show this is so when we told you about this rally for which one is that? Yeah, pre-election day rally at the pub. We got a little clip of the mayor speaking. So Drake, is that possible to play? If not, then you have to watch it on your own. And we're gonna get to our candidates.
And while we're waiting,
Yep.
And I think, like, Roger, it's a sincere question. I know I talk to people in the community, and it's fair. If you're supporting Vic, fine. But
Yep.
the people would like to know, hey, tell us what you think he's done
Yep.
for the community. What things has he helped you with?
Absolutely.
Just share, like, we would like to know, because I would like to know.
I would like to know.
And then I can tell other people who would like to know.
Right. We'll be able to put it out there in a way that makes sense to everyone to say, like, this is what the community said he has done.
Right.
I just don't want to be a paid advertisement by a popular voice or a star power saying, I'm reading my scripted words and you never walk the streets of Camden.
Never.
Right, I just don't think that's fair. I think it's unfair that Tasha Smith did something like that to our cities to kind of put us on in a headspace of, oh, if she's saying it must be true,
Right.
Sight and sound. That's not the way it works. Dre, if we're not there, we can move. We can do it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so we're going to cue this video up. This is, again, the pre-election day rally for Mayor Carl Starford and Angel Fuentes and the rest of the crew that happened at the pub on June 3rd. It's processing, y'all. It's coming. Just want to give you a snippet of what was said. I think it sits live on Council President Angel Fuentes' page. I think it sits live. I wasn't in attendance, but I was just very concerned about. It was something that was said in this clip, and if it doesn't play, you can watch it later. You can watch it another time. Dre's fine because we got guests coming in. It was something said about don't let them. It just came up. Okay, go ahead.
We don't want to go backwards. I don't want to go backwards. In order for us to move
My team needed support. We talked about how numbers multiply. 2 people in here talking 2 more people. That's 4. 4 people talk to 4 more people. You know how it rolls. That's 8.
Yeah, so, I don't want to go back, was the mayor's quote there. What does that mean? I want to know what that means. Are you talking about the other team that's running? Are you talking about you don't want to go back to under the control of the Norcross family? What are you, I don't want to, I just needed some clarity on that because when you say I don't want to go back or you're talking about to them, who's the them? Who is the people that we're talking? That's very important for us to get clarity on. And maybe you say, Ron, you had to be there to hear what he was saying. That's just you taking it out of context. But that, as a resident, rubbed me the wrong way because I don't want to go back because I don't think we move forward.
That part.
I don't believe that we move forward as a resident. I don't see Camden moving forward. There was a time where Camden had jobs. There was a time that Camden had great public schools.
Yeah.
There was a time that Camden had black businesses.
Yes.
There was a time that people took black people in business and Camden City very seriously.
Yes.
There was a time we had a Poppy Sharp and a BPUM and many other black people that were doing revolutionary work in Camden.
Yes.
And we still have some of those elders here, but it makes you go on to the next slide because I want to know what we're talking about. We say I don't want to go back because for the black community, we ain't never moved forward. So this is what I feel like we crossed the line here. If you all have not seen this flyer in the mail, it says Camden's population is 50% Latino. A North Jersey party boss doesn't care. It says no. Say no to Theo Spencer, Sheila Davis, Tyann Harris, and Corinne Powers. It's all in, that's the Spanish version. It says a North Jersey party boss is saying is funding candidates for Camden mayor and city council. They crossed out their names and said no one on their team is Latino. Now I call a foul. Are y'all trying to create an internal riot or make it seem like this team is racist towards Latino people? One of the people sitting on the team is a current city council person. She has to deal with the whole entire city. And people say that's just the way it happens in politics. Like that's the spoils, to the spoil goes the victor, to the victor goes the spoil. Whatever way it's said, one of those white terms. The point I'm making is that how dare you? How dare you allow this kind of mail to go out to create a divide in our community as if it's not already divided? Questions. When's the last time the city council president has done a Black History event inside city council? He's Latino. Question. When's the last time that you all really dive deeply into Black History Month as a citywide project for black people? Say it again. Question. Where's the red, black, and green flag for black people inside the city of Camden? Question, where's all of our black businesses? Question, when are y'all, from what I've been seeing, it's been tearing down black women with leadership like you all and not lifting up black women. Because last time I checked, there was a sexual harassment case against a black woman. There was a black woman who was another person who got allegedly ran over. I don't know if she was white or black, but anyway, about women in general. But I'm just asking the question, how dare you all put a mailer out like this to create a divide in our community and make it seem like because the team is all black, that there's something wrong with that. How dare you? That does not mean they don't represent the Latino voice. That's a strong discriminatory divide that you just did in our community. Did y'all see the riots that happened back in the day? Where y'all older than me, so y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Y'all want to create a race riot inside the city by saying something like this? Whoever did this, shame on you, and y'all should be sued.
And can I just say that
Go for it.
I have seen, I have listened to some of the mayor's conversation, the speech he did at the pub, and he spoke a lot about community, right?
Yep.
And building up the community. His slogan is Camden Strong.
Yes.
So how is this Camden Strong?
Right.
So if anything, if you are for the community, this, along there were other things I felt like he should have made a statement about, but this definitely goes on the list.
Absolutely.
At a time like this, show your integrity.
Absolutely.
Right? Show your morale.
That part.
Show your courage.
Yeah.
Show that you do care about
Yes.
the city and say, listen, I would like to say that we are running a fair election.
Absolutely.
Right?
Right.
A fair, clean election, and this I won't tolerate because, yes, we do have Hispanic residents
Absolutely.
and black, but
Absolutely.
you should have came forward as the leader and denounced this.
You should have, thank you, denounce something. That's the
Did I get
word.
that one right?
Because what it does is that it also separates the other people who are inside the city of Camden. It's just not black and Latino. There's other communities that are represented here. And so,
got
Mary,
small
Mary,
communities.
you're saying that you're saying if you're not black or Latino, you shouldn't vote?
Right.
That's one thing. And then I want to underscore the word New North Jersey party balls. So on anything else, should we put South Jersey party balls under all your stuff? So if they're for North Jersey party balls, you're pretty much telling us that you're for the South Jersey party balls.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's two party balls,
We'll
obviously,
define
because
the
we're in the
word
South.
first.
I just want to make sure that everyone's reading this and not being tricked, hoodwinked, led astray into believing that this represents the people of Camden. How dare you put out a mailer of this disrespect about an African American team that they are not for the Latino community. But I want to also make it clear, we need our Latino community to speak up about this.
Yes, we do.
We need y'all to speak up about this because this is disrespectful to us. We've never put something out about people running many Latinos on their ticket and maybe two black people. We
Yes.
never made that because that's what's happening. That's what's happening. The current incumbent has him as the current mayor and two Latino people and one black woman who's new to the ticket.
Okay.
So we can play that game both ways, y'all. This was a foul. And you should have stood on integrity, as my sis said, that said we are not putting this out in our community because you're about to create a race war.
Yeah.
And we don't need that. And
Also to be stated, quoting Community First Real Democrats for Camden, we have Latino committee candidates. It's disturbing.
It's highly
and that
disturbing.
flyer is disturbing.
It's highly disturbing.
There is Latino representation on the committee. The candidates on the committee are representing the Latino community.
How could none of you all say no to this mailer? It's
That's
just a
right.
question. I mean, make this go viral. How could none of you say no to this mailer and allow us to go out and say this, that no one is Latino on this ticket? And then do it in Spanish so that we can make it clear that you are trying to ignite and inspire a riot on that side.
Yeah.
To create a hate and a divide between both of us.
That's not coming
How
from you.
dare you, Mayor, let this go out? How dare you and the dirty Dems that y'all are a part of do? That's why I call y'all dirty, because y'all do stuff like this.
The dirty Dems.
dirty Dems. It ain't about politics. Somebody said that's just the politics. That's how it goes. No, this is disrespectful
Yeah.
at its highest level. So we'll move on.
Moving on.
Careful. Move on, Dre. Careful. Dre's with us. So we're going to give it, I want to give you a preface for our guest that's coming in. And Dre, you can go to the next slide and say the disclaimer. The Camden Parent and Student Union has a long-standing history of hosting community forums during past elections. You always can see us doing a forum. You can look us up on our social medias. We've always done an in-person or some kind of virtual forum, even down to the CEA, to the union. Fact check us if you want. Now that's something that you can fact check me on.
Okay.
The team is here, okay? We remain committed to providing an inclusive space for community members to engage directly with election candidates and participating in a democratic process. That's our preface to this conversation. We have guests on, they waited patiently, we went a little over, they're coming in a second. But here's our recap disclaimer for everybody. Screenshot this and read it again. At the request of several candidates participating in the upcoming June 10th primary election, tonight's program will feature appearances by those who wish to speak directly to the community and share their perspectives on the election. In the interest of fairness and transparency, an invitation was extended to all candidates.
All candidates.
Everybody received the invitation. We did our part. People did not respond. It's fine. Just letting you all know that we did our part. All right? So we have the honor.
We for community.
We for the community.
I just thought I should say that.
You said it out loud.
The true community.
The true
definition
of community, not the divide. Okay. So Dre, let's go to the special guest tonight. We have the Community First Democrats for Camden. We'd like to, this is 4 individual people who are residents in Camden. Some you know, and some you are getting to know. And they are also connected to, based on, what is the ballot? This one? So we're going to our paperwork here. Thank you, because we got to make sure.
We got visual.
Go ahead, visuals.
Visual aids.
Go ahead, the visuals.
Because we have a lot of type of learners.
Come on.
We have visual
learners.
Audio.
Listen, multimodal.
Yes.
Yes. So over here on, there's 2 teams running for committee members. And yes, so they also on this team represent the Camden First Real Democrats for Camden. Well, I'm sorry, Community First Real Democrats for Camden, reading upside down. And they also have committee members that are running with this slate as well. And that's why the statement was made by my sis saying they have Latino folks on their Democratic committee. Their
13.
13. Thank you, y'all, because we're stuck. So that brings us to our first person. We got our people in the background. Jose Ramos, want to bring you in. He is representing the committee of candidates that are for the Community First Democrats for Camden. We want to bring him in. Jose, welcome. Forgive our delay. Thank you for being here. Can you hear us?
I can hear you perfectly. I've been listening to the whole conversation for some time now. I'm very proud to be here. Thank you. Can you hear me well? Are you able to hear me well?
One second, Jose. We're gonna try to get the volume up inside here so we can hear you clear. That's a little low. We want to make sure we hear what you're
Awesome.
saying. In worst case, can we it's gonna be a delay on both sides, but it's okay. We're gonna get it. Okay. All right. So hold on. I think Dre's getting it. Can you hear it? Okay. Jose, so can you hear us? Can you hear us now? Is he still there? Okay, let's go forward. So I'm just gonna get feedback from I've got a phone in here so we can hear you. We just have a little technical issue in here. But thank you for getting on. I'm sorry for holding you for so long. We really appreciate you. Buenas noches, Janice says. So we'll kick it off with our icebreaker for you. We had a couple questions. We got a few questions we got lined up for our candidates that's getting on. Jose, if you can tell everybody your name, what part of the city of Camden you live in, and how long you've been living here. They can't hear him. Oh, tell him. Oh, Jose, he can't. Okay. We're having a little technical, y'all. We're gonna get it right. Can you hear him talking at all?
Are you able to hear me well now?
Hold on, it's
Can you
coming.
hear me better now?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, we can hear you now.
I,
You weren't coming through on the stream.
I can hear
Gotcha.
you now. Sorry, I'm on the street. Um, but again, Jose Javier Ramos, I am a member of the community in Fairview, which is Ward 1. And I've been listening to you and your conversation for a little bit now, and definitely, I feel shocked and offended, tired of the separations that the community, such as the party that Victor runs, Angel Fuentes and the whole clan, and how they
Yep.
separate our city, taking away from us that we are one person under God at the very end. That there's no separations in between us. I am proudly representing Community First, real Democrats for Camden. At some point, I've heard the other team. I've worked along their lines until the day that I decided to base my own opinion, and I'm no longer a person that their interests on. As far as I became a troublemaker, that's the title that I received from some of our city leaders, just because I am separating myself from the hypocrisy, the lack of integrity, the lack of transparency, and the separation that they are building. I am so shocked, and I do apologize to our African American community. Not that I separate myself in any way, because I see myself as a human being, not an ethnic. Um, However, I know that that type of propaganda that they're running is completely false. It is shameful, and it is a sign of desperation on their behalf. Um, I am proudly running together with um, Theo Spencer, with Lachey, with our councilwoman that has been there. That is a great friend of mine. We've sat together on different boards, and we've known each other for several years. I respect Sheila Davis very much, and Lachey, and also Corinne Powers, who's now running for city council as well. And I am a proud committee person to be on H2, which hopefully come June 10th, we are voted in so that we can continue to represent our city. And yes, there is a Latino representation there. Even if it's just a few of us, we do approve that community goes first. I personally have been in a room where I've joined with you, Ms. Dickerson, and seen how they quiet us down, or they try to no matter what we object to, they still vote on things that the community don't want. And yes, it's easy to see some of the streets have been reconstructed, but it's not all the streets, and it's not what people paint it to be. And we need to stop telling people lies. I've complained about different things at City Hall that have never been moved on. And I do thank them for pausing their meetings and giving me some recognition, but that's not enough. I want to see the follow through. I want to see the transparency that's not there. It's not just pulling up your camera and taking pictures on events, but it's really listening to the heart of people and moving on people's behalf that want different, that know what they want, and fighting on behalf of our community. So I'm excited, to be a part of this team, but I'm excited to continue the hard work in the city that's not being seen. I'm not here for personal propaganda or politicians. I'm here because people need people to respond to their cry. And that's who I am. First of all, I'm a child of the living God. I'm going to be that to the day He takes me out of this planet. And that makes me a person that people can rely on, and someone that's listening, that wants to do more, but it's not given the opportunity because they in-house everything. And the moment someone stands up against it or speaks against it, oh, we're trouble. And I'm okay to be considered trouble, but I'm a troublemaker for the good of Camden. And that's why I believe and I am supporting this committee of Democrats that are real for Camden. So, June 10th, which is Tuesday, I hope that the city of Camden will not just say I'm tired, but come and show it during election time and give our folks a chance to create the difference. And also, I'm here to make sure that we're united, that we're not showing separations, that yes, we are celebrating our African roots as well, because last time I checked, Puerto Rico has African roots in between them. So we want to make sure that we're celebrating not just our flag, but your flag and all your accomplishments as well. One of my biggest heroes will always be Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and everything he stood up for. And so if he had been alive today, I'm definitely would have been walking with him and making sure that I'm being known, that our communities are being built together. I am totally in love with Camden. I've been a citizen, a resident in Camden for over 26, 27 years. I landed in Camden 1989, migrated from Puerto Rico. I've never been back on a plane. I spent some of my young teenage years in the South Bronx, and that showed me different. Up north, we're not separated. I'm gonna tell you that much. Up north, we're all together. We're one people, and we want to make sure that while I'm here, that I'm showing everyone that we are human beings, that we're people, and that we need to fight for each other. That's strong. We're strong when we hold each other's hands and we pray together. When we're together and we make these decisions that make the community better. So hopefully, we can get our city's support, our citizens' support, and making sure that they come out and vote and show it on that ballot. This it's time for a change. It's time for community first to appear on the scene and make sure that we give the people the better of Camden moving forward. And I'm so grateful to be here to do this interview with you. And definitely, I hear you. And I've told you, Ms. Dickerson, that I'm here. I have your number. You have mine. Anything I can do to bring us together, I'm so willing to help. Our community, as I've been for so many years now, where people are not seeing maybe my work in that level because we're not throwing it up for grab for people to give me credit for anything else but just being loved, just loving people for who they are and helping my neighbors. As I know that God says to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. So that's who I am, and that's why I believe that we have a chance to create the difference, to make sure that these separation walls are not being built anymore. So I really want to thank you, and then allow you to ask questions if you do have some, if I haven't answered them already.
I want to ask you one more question before I let you hop off, because I know we got to get the rest of the candidates in. Tell the audience, our listening audience, because people will watch this now and they'll watch it later, and up until primaries, which happened on Tuesday. I wanted you to tell folks, and if you can do it with a minute or two, why they should vote for the committee that you're on. What makes your committee so special and so different from the committees that we've seen in the past?
Well, listen, we're from the community that we're serving, and a lot of us have already been serving at higher levels. And we want to make sure that people understand that we can be held accountable, that we have transparency, that we will be there to answer your questions, that we will be there to make sure that our city is moving according to the citizens of Camden, that the residents of Camden have a voice, and that we're here to listen to you. We're here to speak on behalf of you to other places that we have to speak, and we want to make sure that we're creating the atmosphere that the community of Camden deserves and wants. Where we're not listening to what the cry of the people is, and then just still voting on things that the people don't want. How can we make it better? How can we work together? And that's a reason why I want to make sure that I'm involved and that our committee is involved. Is that we can make the difference. We have the transparency levels to move forward. So, I mean, if that is not enough, I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, they have voted for these other people for so long, and then we go back and complain about what they're doing wrong and they're not doing by the people. Well, guess what? We're here to work for the people of Camden, and we're here to do it with pride, with joy, and definitely we just want to move Camden ahead.
Jose, so before I let you go, tell everybody what is the position that they can vote for the Community First Real Democrats for Camden Committee? What's the position that you all will be in? Can you hear us? On the ballot,
I
what's your
think I
position
lost
number?
communications there.
Can you hear us? I don't know. Can you still hear us, Jose? Uh-oh. Jose, can you hear us?
I can hear you now. I had
Okay. Oh, someone's okay.
a
What's
little
the position
hiccup
on the
with
ballot
the.
that people can find your name and your committee member's name?
Say that again.
What position on the ballot that people can find your name and your committee member's name?
So definitely, you can vote for me and find me underneath the H2 column. H2 for Jose
H2.
Javier Ramos and the committee first Democrats for Camden.
All right, Jose. Thank you for being on. We'll see you in the field on election day on June the 10th. We thank you for taking time tonight and letting folks hear who you are and hearing why the people should consider voting for your team and your committee members. We appreciate you all, and thank you for
Thank you.
serving the city of Camden. Thank you for your statement about the nastiness that's been going on in the city of Camden. We
That's
really
right.
appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night. We'll see you on the streets. All right. All right, y'all, you heard it first there. Jose Ramos, he was representing the committee that's running under Community First Real Democrats for Camden. Forgive us for the delay there, but we're catching up now. We're going to bring in our next candidate. I want to bring in someone who is not new to this work. Sheila Davis has been a part of Camden City, a Camden sister, a Camden girl. She currently sits as the current city council member on the current city council in Camden City. She was just formerly the city council vice president. And I can say from our perspective that Sister Davis has always been approachable, reachable. She will return phone calls. She does get things done. And we appreciate her for putting her hat in the race again to run not under the Democratic ticket, but as an incumbent on a different ticket, changing up the history. So, Sister Davis, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Queens. Good evening.
Yes. Good
Yes,
evening. How are you? How are you? How you feeling tonight?
excited. We're out here. We're talking to the residents. We're giving real transparency and real solutions to the answers. So it's great. It's great running with this team. See a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, Rasha. A lot of excitement. I can't hear you, Rasha.
Hold. Give us 1 second.
Now I can hear you.
Okay, can you? I know we were. I got some questions for you lined up, but I wanted you to dive into that mailer that went out about your ticket not having any Latinos represented on it. Do you want to respond to that so that people can hear your voice?
Yeah, that's totally unacceptable. I had reached out to Nilsa Cruz Perez in reference to having a conversation. As the current incumbent, I work closely with Naomi Sori Perez, Angel Fuentes, Jeanette Ramos, and others that are of Latina descent. And I have walked through the halls of City Hall, walked through those communities with my Latino brothers and sisters. And so to see the forced division, they're running scared. They're running scared. And that propaganda is unhealthy and it's dangerous. But
Yeah.
with a lot of the Latinos that I spoke with today in reference to that mailer, they totally disagree with it and they're not feeding into it.
That's right. Good. Good for them. Good for them. Good for them. I'm glad to hear that. I just because I felt as a black woman that I felt like that was a punch to your gut. And shame on your.
It was hurtful.
Can you hear me?
Yes, it was hurtful.
Yeah, shame on your council mates that are currently running for allowing something that discriminatory to run out in our city. Shame. That's a very low blow.
And not only
Councilwoman, tell
that, in
me.
addition to that,
I
not,
want to.
in addition to that, the black men that
Yes.
sit on council, they're not speaking out against this.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no protection, right? There's no to allow that to
None.
happen. I hear you. Councilwoman, I want to change it up a little bit and ask you a question. As you're driving around the streets right now, what's on your radio? What you listen to on your radio?
Kim,
Who she say, Jerry?
Kim,
Say Kim?
I'm a jazz person.
Jazz person. Ah, got
I'm a
jazz
jazz
swinging. I hear you.
person.
I love that. I love that. Councilwoman, tell me what keeps you up at night? Like what is the thing in Camden City that's keeping you up at night?
To be honest, and full transparency, as a councilwoman, seeking my third term, what keeps me up at night is why I didn't fight harder against some of the things that I knew would not benefit my city as a whole, and versus benefiting an individual or a corporation.
Yes, and then with that being said, Councilwoman, like this is a harder question. I know that folks have said, well, she was with the machine just several years ago. She's been with them all the time, running on the same ticket. And why should we trust her? Maybe she just a plan to divide the vote and pull people over to that side so we won't get who we really need to get in the office. But what makes you different from the other candidates? What makes you different in this spirit, in this
Mhm.
season that you're in now? Why did you
Well,
say I had enough of this side? I want to do something different. What makes you different?
well, as an incumbent, running on a community first, real Democrat slate, I bring valuable knowledge and lots of experience to the race. And my decision to run for reelection, um, really, I believe there is still important work to be done in the city. That is very essential in city government.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes, I love that. I do. I love that. And I love your honesty. And I know this is when I keep throwing the word transparent out there, but I love your integrity because it requires some courage and integrity to go against something that you actually know the inside outs of how it was made. But to go
Yes.
against it and knowing that behind that you leave money, you leave resources, you leave accessibility, you leave what they call street cred, you leave some things over there and you have to go up against people who you've had to be in space with for many years. But now
Well,
you're saying I want to try something different.
Sister Rasha, I've always had uh, as a lifelong resident of City of Camden and a graduate of Camden High School, um, I always had a deep community root. You know, I'm I'm rooted. I'm rooted in the city. Um, I have an intimate understanding of the community that outsiders cannot and will not ever match.
Yeah, yeah,
Right, and
yeah,
so I'm from Camden. I'm from
yeah,
Camden.
yeah. I believe you. I love it. In the last rapid round, one minute. Tell us why you're urging people to get out to vote and why they should vote for your ticket, your team, and for you.
Well, this is the first time that the city of Camden has been challenged to this magnitude.
That's right.
So the work is far from over. And picking our ticket, you will make a decision, critical decisions that we now can take our city back
Yeah.
from projects, initiatives that our city needs, from continual advocacy. My work with the Camden Redevelopment Agency as the vice chair has positioned me to oversee ongoing economic development projects,
Yeah.
that could transform and has transformed into Camden's economic landscape. So walking away now would mean abandoning years of relationship building and project development,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so this is why it's important, because I do know the inside. I do know how government runs and is being run. And like Vic said, we can't go back. Vic, we can't go forward. We
Right.
can't go forward with the way this government is being run.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But absolutely.
So
Well,
what he
yeah.
means is we can't go back. What that means is we can't put the city back in the hands of the residents.
That's right. That's right. That's
That's
right.
what that means.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
And so come June 10th, he has no choice because it will now be in the hands of the residents,
That's right.
the real Democrats of Camden.
That's right.
And we
And
hear it on the street, right? And so this is like people are passionate talking, and some people like Vic, but the majority, I would say, based off our numbers statistically, about 65% of the people don't like Vic
yeah.
and
Yeah.
don't like how government is being ran.
Absolutely. People are looking for a change, Sister Davis. They want to change, and I feel like you all have offered an option on the ticket. You offered a real option that's strong and it's powerful and it has legs to it, and it can grow to change Camden to another direction. If folks are tired, they got to get out to the polls and show their energy. And what position are you in,
Yes.
Sister Davis? What position what's your position on the
G1.
ballot?
G1.
G1. You heard it here tonight, y'all. Vote Community First. Election Day is June 10th, and the position for Sheila Davis is G1. Sister Davis, we appreciate you. We apologize for taking you off the streets, but we want to just give you a chance to speak to the community and let them hear your voice.
Anytime, anytime, anytime. Like I always tell the residents, hold me accountable.
That's right.
Accountability and transparency. I'm not one of those council people that sit behind my desk. I'm not one of those council people that are in photo ops. I'm boots on the ground all
That's
time.
right.
Right,
That's
wrong,
right.
and different. I'm on the ground. You can see me. You can feel me. We can have a conversation.
That's right. That's right. We appreciate you, Sister Davis. Thank you for getting on. That's Sheila Davis, y'all. She's in position G1 under the vote for the community first, the Camden Community First, Camden First, real Democrats for Camden. On June the 10th, she's in position G1. She came on to speak her piece tonight. We thank her for being on, Sister Sheila Davis, and we will see you on the streets on June 10th.
Yes, you're welcome.
All right. All right, y'all. So we're here. We're having the candidates join us. Everyone's getting a segment to really let you hear their voice again. If you want to go back and look at the disclaimer, we invited everyone that's running to be on tonight, but we did not have a community forum going on at all. No one has actually had a community forum. So Camden Parent and Student Union's job has always been to be civically engaged. We wanted to bring the candidates in. And this is not a dig at the other team. It's just giving people a platform. If we were doing this in person, it would be a debate. However, we're not there. So with that being said, we're going to go to our next person that's on. This sister is not new to running on candidacy. She originally ran as one of our first or second round school board members when we got her right back to vote. She's a Camden girl. She speaks highly of the work that she's done and also has invested deeply in Camden City. She's young. She represents another generation that we want to make sure that vote rises up, and she's encouraging by using her voice to make sure that people understand the weirdness and craziness that's happening in the city of Camden from her perspective. So I want to bring in, you all know on the ticket as Tyann Lachey Harris, but we call her Shay. Shay, welcome. Are you there? Can you hear us?
Hey, Queens. Yes, I can hear you guys. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes. Sorry for pulling you from the streets. How you doing?
I know. I'm doing pretty well. Literally, we're in the car. I'm sweaty. I would get on the screen, but literally, we're outside engaging with our residents, making sure that
I
they
totally
understand
understand.
their
I
voices.
know we only got a few minutes with you, but I wanted to just pull you in for a second. So, Shay, tell us, while you're on the campaign, what songs are you listening to in the car?
Yes. So my two favorite songs has been Kendrick Lamar, "They Not Like Us," because certainly there are individuals who may appear to be similar or from the same tribe, some of the same culture, but they are certainly not like us.
Yeah, I
In
like
addition,
it.
yes, and I'll say my second song is Nipsey Hussle Dedication.
Yeah.
Because that is exactly the mood and the energy, hard work plus patience. The sum of our sacrifice, Camden is done waiting. We are done waiting.
I know
So
that's
yes,
right.
those are the two songs that I've been listening to in the car.
I know that's right. I love it. Keeping you going. I hear that. I love that. All right, Shay, so I
Yes.
want to ask you some questions. A few. Like, what made you say yes to running for this primary? Why did you choose to run?
So I decided to run for this primary because it's time for our community to have new generational leadership. We have been, just under the same group of individuals who have been leading us for, I want to say, maybe 3 decades now. And now that I am an adult at 30 years of age, so much has not changed. And our city has so much potential that I can see. But there's not leadership to be able to take us to that full potential or take us to that place of promise or even give us that hope. A lot of us, again, in a community, as we're canvassing, there's just so much just lack of, whether if it's lack of resources, like someone literally was just talking to me 45 minutes ago about just mental health services and just so many things that we are in need of in our community. I'm just ready to work and do the will of not only our Lord Jesus Savior Christ, but the will of what our government is literally in place to do.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I hear you clear. And I see you're doing, and all the things you're saying, it makes sense. It makes plenty of sense to like the way that you see the city of Camden. Can you still hear me?
Yes, Queen, I can
Yeah.
hear you.
The way you see the city of Camden, the changes that you want to see come in, I think that you are really taking action to make sure that people understand that it's beyond just talking; it's about doing. And also, you want us like even if you wanted to start a family, Shay. I'm thinking about you
Yes.
as being a young woman, not stepped into motherhood yet, if that's a goal for you. But the fact that you want to create another place for people to lay their head safely, that makes such a big difference.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Certainly, I do desire to raise a family, and I would love to raise my family here, right where I was born, because Camden was the city who raised me. And it's literally, when I think of the children who I interact with,
Thanks, Trey.
in the park where I was born and raised, the Sand Park. I'm in there, breaking up fights because there's not other productive things that the kids have going on,
Right.
and just trying to literally be a village to a lot of kids who are lost. Or we have to talk about, because something that I mentioned in my video, I've lost a lot of childhood friends, so many of
Yes.
us. And so
Yes.
there are a lot of kids growing up right now without parents, without a
Yes.
mom or dad. And so
Yes.
yes, you're absolutely right, Sister
I'm with
Rancha.
you.
Our
No, I
community
love.
needs to
Thank
be.
you. No, I appreciate that. That's honest, and I do. I want to say on here, we loved your live. I feel like you did an amazing job of getting information, making it make sense to us. I learned from your live. I was like, "Ooh, great!" I watched it. I was praising you. We need more of that. We need more truth tellers. We need more demon slayers. We need more of that out here. So we appreciate you and
Yes.
applaud you for that. So I got some question for you. I got another question for you, Shay. As
Yes.
a candidate, tell our audience like what's the thing that keeps you up at night? Like when you're going to bed at night, and I know you said you're a woman of God and you're praying for the people who are doing some ill things in the city. But what's that thing that could keep you up at night? What goes on with you?
Yes, Sister Rancha, what keeps me up at night is certainly the future of Camden. To understand the state of our city,
Hold on,
the
Shay. We lose
conditions
you.
of our culture, the condition of our community
Shay, we
is
lost your sound. Can you
certainly
hear
all
me?
of it.
Hold on.
I can hear you. Of our city, the conditions of our culture,
We lost it. Yeah. Keep going.
okay. So yes, certainly just the
I can't.
work, the
I
things that
lost. Wait,
needs
Shay,
to
give
be.
us 1 second. Give
Okay.
us 1 second. We lost your sound in the studio.
Okay.
Give us 1 second.
Certainly just the work, the things.
Okay. Okay, so I'm having a little feedback here. So go for where you are about the work. I heard you say the work, and then continue from there. Is the sound in here?
Yes. Can you guys hear me okay, Ben? Can now?
We can't hear you, Shay. Hold on 1 second. Let's make an adjustment. Give us 1 second. Forgive us, y'all. We're trying to make the adjustment inside the studio because we're trying to get more sound to come out. All right, Shay, say something to me again.
Okay, how about now? No?
No, we lost your sound. Hold on 1 second. Trying to pull your
Okay.
sound back in.
I s-
Yeah, we can hear you. Yep, keep talking. Whatever you got over there, I'm about to go.
All right.
Go ahead, Shay. We can hear you.
Okay, great. So yes, literally just the work that needs to be done, the issues that are at hand, our lives are at stake. Like we live these conditions every day. And the fact that it's not of high quality, we are deserving of a life. Okay, now it's coming out. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, it was loading and rebooting on my screen. But yes, just honestly, what keeps me up is certainly the things that needs to be done, the work that I'm willing to do, and the fights that we have to fight. And so,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. And I appreciate you sticking to your point on that with all that delay that was going on. But yes, those are the things that we need to hear out loud because that makes us connect humanly, right? Because
Yes.
what you're saying is things that we all feel as mothers, as wives, as daughters, as sisters. These are things we worry about and we concern. We pray, but we do have things that keep us up at night. Shay, I'm gonna go to my next question for you. I know I gotta get you back to the streets and get you ready for primaries coming up. But I have a tough question. What makes you different from any of the other candidates that's running on even on your ticket collectively, but also on the other side? What makes you so different?
I would say simply the innovation, the new and the fresh and the bold ideas. I think that it's just time for newness. It's time for a true a revolution in our city of Camden. And I think that I'm willing to go the furthest extent to assure that our people receive the liberation that we deserve, just as humans. Like, I'm not stating anything that's super extravagant. We are just asking for human decency, a life of quality, opportunities, resources. And again, as I said before, like, a lot of us, we don't need people to hold our hands, or
That's right.
we don't need, no one to push us, pull us, or drag us. We just need the opportunity.
That's
Just
right.
give us a
That's
fair
right.
shot,
Yeah.
and we'll in the basketball terms, we'll slam dunk, because I know our people allegedly just love this basketball.
You
Y'all did so well on
I
this.
love you. Give me a basketball analogy. I'm focusing. I got you. Rapid round. I gotta get you back to it. Tell us in 1 minute why Camden residents should vote for you. Tell us why.
Yes. The Camden residents should vote for me because I am on a team that puts community first. Voting for me is voting for us. Voting for me is voting for the community. And voting for me is voting for change.
Yeah.
So,
I love that, Shay. You listen, we are praying for you and the entire team. We know that's not easy work at all. What's your position on the ballot, Shay?
I am in position G2 as well as H2. So
Come on now,
G2,
G2.
H2, make it do what it do.
I know
Let's
that's
go,
right.
Camden.
G2 and H2 make it do what it do. So her name is Tyann Lachey Harris.
Yes.
She's running with the Community First. Let me get it right. I'm gonna keep messing this up. The Community First Real Democrats for Camden. I keep mixing this up, but I do love the name. June 10th. Shay, we will see you on the streets. Thank you for.
Can I say something?
Oh, one thing, real quick. I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted.
Go ahead.
Shay, I just wanted to also say I can appreciate and I applaud you for bringing up how in the city a lot of our youth, a lot of our young people are losing their friends. I don't really hear anybody talk about that. Like,
Yes.
that is traumatic in our community right now. You're going to school with friends who you come back to school the next day, they're gone. Childhood that people you grew up with in the streets playing, having a good time, thinking you would see them on, to grow up and be with them. And I just appreciate you speaking to that piece because I feel like nobody brings attention to that. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you so much, just for that acknowledgement. And if I can just add on, just the literal sense of when I went away to college as a freshman, I had in my dorm on my cork board dead friends. And my little sister, who's now just graduated high school, I can't imagine having to, and the fact that it was almost normalized, like to be a conscious Black woman today, to realize like, no, we were just 17.
Wow.
Like, no, we were actually just still babies.
Yeah.
And so, yes, it's very tragic. It's traumatic. I tear up when I see, some of my friends who aren't here, but they did have children before they went. Now their kids are growing up. And I feel almost responsible to make sure that there are better resources, to make sure that they don't follow the path that their dad feel like they may have had to follow just to be able to provide. And so thank you, Queen, for that.
We appreciate you, and we're lifting you up, and we know that is not an easy story to tell, but we appreciate you being honest, and we're hoping that people who are listening to Lashay's voice can hear the connection. We need someone who familiarizes with our pain and our struggle, and also looking for the other side of getting us to a point of helping our people to heal and finding other ways. So Shay, we thank you. Get back to the streets. She's G2 and H2. Tyann Lashay Harris. We'll see you on primary day on June the 10th. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right. Thank you. All right, y'all. We are meeting the candidates again. If you're just tuning in and you want to watch it now or watch it later, these are the candidates that are running under the Community First for Real Democrats for Camden. We invited all candidates to get on and have a conversation with us, but we got this team on, so we're glad to have them on and for them to be able to give you an opportunity to hear their platform, the things that they believe in, and just see the human side of running for office. So. Sorry. You're fine. No, we're in it together. So we got two more coming in. This is a brother from the Parkside community. He is a graduate of Camden High School, class of 1994. He's not new to running for office. He's run several times in the spirit of civics and trying to keep a face that we are familiar with on the ballot. And you can see him on the streets. You sometimes can see him in. He's a graduate of Howard University. Did I get that right? An HU graduate. Y'all bring in Theo Spitzer, who's running for mayor.
Hey.
Under the Community First Real Democrats for Camden. Theo, good evening.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm all right. I don't want to tell people how far we go back, but we go back to Hatch. And
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. And Rye was my teammate at Camden High. Oh, I'm sorry. So there's two songs right now that have me sort of in a chokehold. Days of Our Lives by De La Soul, because I like that boom bap, and another song called Potholders by MF Doom. Okay. So I'm a big MF Doom fan. I like his flow. A lot of times his rhyme schemes don't kind of end where you think that they should, and so he always kind of throws people off. So.
I like that. Okay, I hear that. I like you got some energy going on there. They lots of I hear that. So I got some questions for you, similar to what I asked the Shay. I want you to see if we can flow through it. So Theo, why did you choose to run? I know that folks are saying, Theo's always running. Oh my gosh, why don't he stop running? Why does he keep doing this? And we know that you haven't practically won when you ran, but tell us why you say yes again to this primary election. Like what made you say, I'm gonna do it one more time?
Quite frankly, I mean, I've been living in Camden, for the better part of 50 years. I probably got 50 reasons why I run. I think one of the reasons why I run is because when I've been in the process and I've watched what's going on with the opposition, they tend to gaslight our residents. Yeah. And we have a lot of residents that are good people. They want to trust what, they hear from politicians when they get up at the podium. And I, as somebody that don't have a problem with poking the bear or really investigating a lot of this stuff, I know that our residents are being gaslit. We're being lied to about what's going on. Yeah. And I can think of a bunch of different times, but I'll go back to a school board meeting a couple of weeks ago that you were at when the president of the school board sat and talked about how he was supporting the superintendent. And just 5 months before, he wrote a letter basically saying the superintendent needed to go.
That's right.
And Gary Fraser jumped up and got all excited. And I understood because it's like, why are you gaslighting these people? Because most people probably would not read or know or see this letter that was circulated.
Yeah.
Right. Last week I was at the PBCIP meeting, and our state assembly person, he brought up a bill, or he sponsored a bill that I feel as though was the genesis of a lot of problems in Camden. And I asked him, I said, well, what did this bill, like, what was the positive thing about what this bill did, and he said, "Oh well, we increased our tax base from 750 million to 2.4 billion in the city of Camden." Your brother was there, and he heard it say it. I don't think what people realized was he didn't say that, yes, we've increased our tax base, but we're not collecting any taxes from any of these people.
Right.
So when I'm on the street knocking on doors and people are talking about, oh, well, the roads are messed up. Of course they're messed up, because you brought all these businesses in. You basically using them to say that, oh, well, all these businesses and all this money is coming into Camden, but you ain't collecting no money from them.
That's right.
And so, you know, I mean, I could give you chapter and verse of a lot of things, but for me, a lot of it is just, I hate to be gaslit, and I know that we got a lot of residents that mean well, but they're not going to, they sometimes aren't going to stand up and just, you know, say, hey, or they don't want to look like they're being disrespectful or anything like that. I don't have no problem with that. I don't have any problem with saying, no, that's wrong. Don't lie to our people like that. And they've done it over and over again, year after year. Every critical issue in Camden, you can find some place where somebody in politics said one thing that was not, it was 10% true, 90% lie, and they're riding with it. And I just got tired of it. So
I hear that's well said. I hear you. The gaslighting, the lying, the twisting of the truth. These things will push you to keep saying someone has to be in front of this to let our residents know that they deserve a better representation. I'm gonna head into my next question. Tell our audience, Theo, what keeps you up at night? What's the thing that happens in Camden for you? That one thing that keeps you up at night?
The thing that keeps me up at night is the combination of machine politics and state intervention. I mean, if you look, it's almost, if you ever see that meme of the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
Yes.
That's what Camden politics is like right now. Yeah. You've got our elected politicians that are basically saying, well, we don't have any choice. We can't do anything. The state is dictating, you know, what we do. And then on the flip side of that, the state is saying, well, you elected all these people to represent you. How come things aren't better? Maybe it's the people that represented you. Right. And I feel like they're all in cahoots, as my aunt used to say. You know, they're all colluding with each other, and they're dragging the city down, and they're really exploiting our resources, and we really have very little to show for it. And so when you look at, again, getting back to, well, why aren't our streets fixed? Well, it's that combination of state basically saying, oh, we're going to put all these businesses in Camden, and our politicians basically saying, well, the law requires you to give us all these things, but we will waive it for you because we want you to come so bad. Right, and then we end up with nothing. And so that's what keeps me up at night, because, I mean, there's only but so many resources in the city, and we keep plundering them behind some of these people that we have. And at a certain point, there's not going to be anything left.
Yeah. No, that's a powerful point. No, I appreciate that. That's something that I think that folks don't really dive into when it comes down to the way the city is run, the way that we receive information from the city, and then also the way that people make it seem like if this one thing is happening, that means the city is doing well, but it doesn't connect to longevity, to sustainability, and things of that nature. I hear you clear. 12th question for you. We know that there's another incumbent running. We know that he has other incumbents on that ticket running. We know there's some new folks running as well. But what makes you different from those other candidates?
So just because of the nature of how Camden is, most people are going to get a chance to run or be a part of public office. And I got a chance to be on the school board for 3 years. And I saw kind of firsthand what happens when you're beholden to the machine and when you're not beholden to the machine. And so because I was never beholden to the machine, I got a chance to kind of see and experience a lot of things, but I got kicked out. And I didn't care that I got kicked out because of some of the things that I saw. I just didn't want to be a part of it. It didn't sit well with my spirit. So I think when you look at me versus the opposition, what you see is somebody that never had to be beholden to the machine. I don't really talk about it a lot, but I've been a software engineer for close to 25 years now. I've got a career. I've got a good job. I don't need the machine wind at my sails in order for me to be successful, whether I'm in office or not. And so that gives me an independence that I can do stuff that, most other people aren't going to do. And even though I've lived in Camden most of my life, I have spent significant periods of time other places and not just in the region. So I'm not talking about I lived in Cherry Hill or Pennsauken. For a while, I worked in Mexico. I lived in DC for close to 10 years. I lived in Atlanta. I lived in New Orleans. I lived in Mississippi. I lived all these places where Black people are, and I got to see what real change looks like in Atlanta. Like, I got to see in Atlanta what we think about or what we kind of perceive Black and brown power in a city like Camden, where, you've got enough Black intellectual people that are driving the vision of the city and driving what goes on in the city. And I think that we've got a real opportunity to do that in Camden. And that's not something that a lot of our people that are on that other side talk about. They're really trying to just keep you in a box. They don't want you to think that you deserve anything more. They don't want you to think that you deserve a better house or you deserve a better school system. They want to keep you right where you are. And I'm a product of the public school system. I am somebody that benefited from like everything the city had to offer. I mean, and because you were in school with me. And so the free programs in terms of whether it was musical arts or just anything extracurricular that our schools offered, I benefited from. So I think I also bring a spirit of want to bring some of those things back. When you talk about going back, I do remember a time when there was a lot of good people in Camden and a lot of good things going on, and they would look at politically what's going on now, and they wouldn't know what to do. And so when you see a Vic talking about we can't go back, I'm perplexed because, like, the political machine that he's been a part of has really held power in Camden since the late '80s. So, like, what part? Like, I don't understand what he doesn't want to go back to. He's part of the mechanism that's been in control for 40 years. So, I mean, but that's just, I could probably go on forever, but I know you got another question.
No. What you're saying is valuable. I hear you. Like, you're bringing an experience from, like, your heart, and you've been always from Camden, but you've traveled, and those experiences have built you to see the way that people can live, particularly Black people, that we can live differently. And then some of our people never get out the city to see anything else, right? So you're bringing that into the city, but you also give them the opportunity to say, we don't live in a box. We're going to show Camden as a flourishing, thriving, livable city. And I think that's the kind of things we need to see in a mayor. We need to see a mayor that's going to bring a difference into the city, not the same thing. You said, like, this is the same routine they've been using since the 80s. The same, they use line voting. Now it's no line voting. They're using democratic politics and politics to convince people and gaslight them. You're saying the things that I know that people can hear you, but I'm hoping that people can see that even though you may not be, may not have the funding that our current mayor has, does not mean that you don't have the worth or the value to be able to bring that change we need to see into Camden. I appreciate your answer there. I think that was a really valid answer, and I know we can talk about that forever. I got to get you out of here because I know you got to get back to campaigning and getting ready for tomorrow. But in 1 minute, Theo, tell me and tell our audience why our people should vote for you. What makes you just that person to say, you know what, I earned your vote. Vote for me for this reason.
I think we can talk about platforms and all that stuff all day, but the reality is Camden right now, in terms of our leadership, has a crisis of credibility.
Yeah. I
mean, if you ask anybody in this region, like, the running joke for a while was the fact that nobody thought our mayor lived in the city of Camden.
Yes, that's right.
Like how do you conduct business? How do people take you seriously? They don't even think that if basically the vision is this town is so terrible, your own mayor won't live with you.
Right.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
And I think that I think I am somebody that you will randomly see all over the city of Camden. I am somebody that definitely lives here. I am somebody that is credible, right, that people talk to all the time, and if nothing else, they say, well, I believe what he's saying. He's a credible person.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're at an inflection point in the city where there's a stark difference.
Yeah.
One quick story about the stark difference. Last year, as you know, as you brought up before, we had the situation with the board president and you know the sexual scandal of him being involved with you know, a minor when he was a teacher in the Camden School District.
Right.
And I knew what they were going to do. They were playing all the games that they normally play. He didn't want to step down.
Yep.
Nobody on the opposition side said anything.
Yep.
They wouldn't say diddly squat over something that is a layup.
Yep.
That is a layup. You can't get an easier thing than that. And so you had that opposition that was really galvanizing around him. I can't tell you how many black men I had to talk to and basically say, you are crazy for saying that this doesn't matter because this allegation was from 30 years ago. That is nuts to me.
Yes.
Either it is a crime or it's not. I don't want to hear that it's 30 years ago. I don't want to hear this foolishness about where is she coming out now. I don't want to hear this foolishness about, oh, it's all about the money. Well, so the difference between me and the other side is, while all that was going on, one of the things that I was doing behind the scenes, because I knew that the only way that we were going to be able to get him out if he did not step down was to have him recalled for office. I was organizing a recall.
Yes, you were.
Because there was a time, there was a process that had to be followed. And if your efforts didn't work where you were putting public pressure on him, I was ready to go. I had organized an attorney to give us legal advice. I was going to put about $2,500 of my own money. Plus I got a couple attorneys to put up money for us to organize a recall effort to get him out of there.
Yeah.
And so when people want to have an idea, really, you got one group of people that are so stubborn or want to protect what they got so much.
Yep.
They will enclose around a child molester.
Yep.
Whereas allegedly, or whatever we want to call it, they'll enclose themselves around it. They'll close ranks around them, and they'll look at me, somebody that just said, no, there's a right way to do this. We're going to do it, and if all else fails, I'm going to let people know, hey, look, Camden people can not only protest, but we can also do things the political process way to get this joker out.
That's right.
And so that's, I think, the difference, and that's why I would vote for me. I mean, we could talk about platforms all day, but if I'm going to do that, then I'm not getting paid for it. Nobody really knew about that's what I was doing. What do you think I would do for the city, having the real power and influence to do and advocate for the city?
Resources. Yeah, yeah. No, Theo, listen, y'all. This is Theo Spencer. He is running for mayor under the Camden First Real Democrats for Camden, the Community First Real Democrats for Camden.
Can I say one?
Theo, what's your position?
I'm in F1. One last thing. When you were talking about the school board and the superintendent, I was on the last board that went through a selection process for a superintendent. So if you guys want me on at some other time to talk about how that process works, how these things work, I can give you pretty much, because we picked the last superintendent before the state came in and started picking superintendents.
Yeah.
And I also have a deep knowledge of CUSAC and how that works and what we'd have to do in order to get our school district back.
Well, you already put yourself in as another. Listen, sir, when you become mayor and I call you back in on the show to talk about the school board, you better not say, "Oh, I don't have time, Rasha."
No, I love. Hold on, the school board is my first love. I love talking about the school district, just because it meant so much for me. It did so much for me and my friends.
No, that's right.
There's a cohort of us that have great jobs and great educations, and we were denied nothing. We weren't shorted in any way, shape, or form by the Camden City Public School System.
You're right about that.
And so I always will, extol the virtues of the school district, and I can't turn my back on them.
Yeah, Theo, we appreciate you. Thank you for spending time with us tonight.
No problem.
We hear not passion, we hear your truths, we hear your honesty. We appreciate you. We appreciate your commitment to the city of Camden. And listen, y'all, Theo, we're going to see you in the polls June 10th. We'll see you
F1.
out there on the streets. We're telling
F1.
folks to get out there and vote. He's in position F1 for the mayor. He's the only person running against the incumbent, Theo Spencer, a part of the Community First Real Democrats for Camden. Theo, thanks for being on tonight. We'll see you on the streets.
No problem.
All right, see ya. Peace, brother. All right, y'all. Y'all heard it first here. We are talking to the candidates again. We gave everyone a chance to get on and speak. Again, we have not had a forum in the city of Camden. And generally, Camden Parent and Student Union leads the forums somehow, some way, because we believe in civic education. We believe in giving people an opportunity to meet candidates and hear their platforms. And we're not going to use the term platform. We want to hear from them. We want to hear who they are, what they do, what they believe in, the things that keep them up at night, the same thing that we think about for ourselves. I have one more guest. I know he's been holding on on the wings for me, but I had to bring my brother in. Special guest for the night. This brother calls me often. He's always in my ear like, Ron, we got to win, man. And I know a lot of y'all got a lot of criticism for Gary Frazier, but I'm going to tell you this thing. Ease up off my brother, okay? Gary may not, he can curse. He going to say what he want to say. He going to tell the truth, but Gary he's a data-driven horse. Gary will find that data and read you the riot act with that data. Gary plays no games when it comes down to the data and also for his strength. We need to see more black male strength in the front of this. He's willing to challenge people. I have to hold my brother back, like Theo just said, from attacking Nnamdi. We don't want to see no black on black interaction, but Gary was like, I cannot take a liar.
That's right.
And he's not perfect. He's not perfect. None of us are. But the brother is consistent. It's times I look back at stuff that Gary has done, from fighting for the police force all the way up for different up and down the turnpike for New Jersey, across the country. He was with Bernie Sanders. He was doing a lot of great work. He was on CNN representing Camden. So let's not take this brother that's coming on with us right now as anything more than what he is. He's a warrior for organizing in Camden, and I love to have Gary Frazier come on in. Brother, how you doing? We good? Can you hear me?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can
hear y'all
now.
good.
Go ahead.
Out here in these streets, getting it.
I know, pushing out there. Every time I turn around, you post up another picture, or you coming in contact with somebody. We love to see it, Gary. Listen, before I get you started round up, what you listening to on your radio right now? What's your go-to song right now?
Oh man, The Bigger Picture for Our People by Little Baby.
Okay. I hear that. I love that. You was right. Give a little bit of energy there. I love that. So Gary, we've been talking, and I know you've been posting. Follow Gary on his Facebook page. Gary goes live about every day, just giving everybody information, not on one thing, but on many things. But he is 100% behind the Community First for Real Democrats for Camden. He's also doing some work for the gubernatorial candidate running, Mr. Fulop. But Gary, why is this primary election so important? Can you educate us on the reason why we need people to get out the vote on June 10th?
Well, first I want to start with Camden, because I think that's really important for our people. And shout out to everybody that came on tonight and really conveyed the message to our people. Shout out to Theo Spencer. Wow, man, he really shook the house tonight. Che shook the house tonight. Ramos shook the house tonight.
That's right.
Shout out to the whole team, man. Just everybody, stuff that's going on behind the scenes, bringing everybody together with a hard task, as you might know. But us coming together and just really doing it was all we asking for. I think that's the most critical thing that's happening right now, and the energy from our people in the streets as they see us, our work ethics up and down each community.
Yeah, Gary, I see. And listen, Gary, I just got to tell y'all this. Gary Frazier was on the streets when we won the vote no for our school board election. This brother didn't miss a beat. He was on the streets for 30 days straight. 30 days straight, did not miss a beat, in the cold, paving the canvas, giving out brochures, flyers, posters in schools, on the street, in the middle of the highway, to make sure people was voting no. So I want you to know that when Gary is talking about this team, that if he's gotten behind this team, that means that Gary sees something that he knows for sure, because he's not new to running either. He ran for office before too, and he understands what it takes to be a candidate out in the streets, and he know if you're not putting feet to that ground, you are not getting any votes. So Gary, I know there's something happening tomorrow and a big action. I wanted you to explain to folks with the gubernatorial candidate coming through New Jersey from north down to south, what is happening and how can people get involved?
I think so. We're having a march tomorrow, starting at 10, and we would ask everybody to start coming at Knight Park in Collinswood. And this is the march to the ballot box that's going to end in Camden. And I think everybody across New Jersey should be paying attention. There's only 2 gubernatorial elections happening in the country right now. One is in Virginia, and the other is in New Jersey. And so we're at a very critical time right now. We see status quo candidates involved in the gubernatorial race, and the conversation that we had with Fulop and having him to understand exactly where we are at in our positioning and trying to get behind a candidate such as Stephen Fulop. And so, him first declaring his independency away from the establishment was a thing. And I think if you look at our campaign with the Community First team, and you see those who have separated from the status quo and have joined on this side of the aisle, and I think iron has sharpened iron. It has brought maturity. It has brought a lot of understanding for us. And I think a platform has been laid for future advocates that will come behind us for the work that we have done. And then shout out to everybody that has worked behind the scenes that you don't see. But this march is so important because if we get it wrong in New Jersey, we might lose New Jersey. And I think people need to understand that, need to understand all the voters of the state of New Jersey and where the ideology stands at with us here in South Jersey. And I think you guys are going to get a chance to witness that tomorrow. So we're asking everybody, if you can't walk the march, you can meet us downtown at City Hall. We will be down at City Hall roughly around 12:30. So we're asking everyone. But if you want to join in the march, please come on out. Bring your cars. This is the real deal for our state. When Fulop's talking about opening the books for our taxes so that you as the taxpayer can see where your taxes are going, that's a big thing for me. When you see him talking about the School Funding Reform Act and us under the Urban Hope Act here and all the work that you guys are doing on your end and a lot of the work that's being done in the community and the educational part of it, I love it. And I want you guys to continue that. That's further educating our people to make critical decisions when it comes to their child's education. So the School Funding Reform Act will address those issues right there. And that's very essential for our people to understand. So come on out tomorrow. Thank you for the opportunity to have us here tonight. Thank you to our team that's out on the street this late at night, still out here pounding the street, still talking to our residents. And you guys get a chance to witness history. The fire that's in our community, it's just unreal. And I just want everybody to be a part of this. So thank you again, guys, for having us on tonight. We got to get back out there and we got to push.
We love you, Gary. We appreciate you. Before you go, tell us to finish this sentence. Nancy Nas said, if I ruled the world, what would you do?
I would make sure that all the children in Camden would have etiquette. I would make sure that all the children in Camden would have mental health services, that their communities would be full of resources and wraparound services that allow them not to be on the street and not to be attracted by gangs that would give them ideas. All of our children are not going to college, and so we need to start focusing on those children. Those are the ones that's being left behind because we're so encapsulated around the sports. And that's my focus for the next maybe 10 years of my life is so educating in our community and being a forceful effort behind our youth and namely our boys and ensuring that we have the mental health services in our community for our men, those of us who have lost children, those of us who need that space because of the way we were raised as men in the city of Camden. And so I want to bring those things for us, for our people as an activist. And I just thank you guys for giving us a platform tonight. Thank you guys for hosting the only forum in the entire primary. And we appreciate you.
We appreciate you. We're not done. We're going to keep going, Gary. We appreciate you taking the time. We know you got to get back to the streets. We'll see you on the streets on primary day, all right? We appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. All right, y'all have a good night. Again, we want to reiterate, we appreciate all the guests and candidates who joined us. Camden Parent Union is a neutral entity. We have not endorsed any party. We are a vessel for the community to receive education, for them to exercise their freedom in their democratic process. Just wanted to read that as another part of this. But individually, we need to be all, as an organization, we can't get and endorse anyone because we're behind the C3. But as individuals, we can say, you saw who got on here tonight. You heard from them. Get out there and vote again. Theo Spencer is in position F1 for mayor. Sheila Davis in position G1 for city council at large. G2 is Tyann Lachey Harris, and also Mama Corinne. She's in G3. She did call in tonight and said she couldn't get on, but she sent her many blessings and said if anybody has any questions, y'all know where to find her at. She's always at the restaurant, and you'll see her on the street. So listen, y'all. Dean,
Yes.
Election day is June 10th. Primaries is here.
10th.
Primaries is here, and you heard from all the people who were able to get on tonight. Again, use this as a way for you to hear people's voices. We did not have any forum for candidates to speak. The mayor didn't do one. There's not been a debate. There's not been any opportunity for us to talk to these candidates, but besides people just walking the streets and sending out these horrible mailers. These horrible mailers. This team just sent out a basic mailer, just saying vote. But we got horrible mailers saying they don't have any Latinos on their ticket.
Right.
We got to ask for change, y'all. This is not a dig at Vic and his team. It's about us looking for a real change. And though we may not have the money, though everybody may not have all the experience of going to be political science majors and all that kind of stuff, but I can also attest that many people sitting on a council right now in the mayor position don't have that information either, nor that knowledge.
That part.
So let's not start judging folks saying that they don't know how and we don't want to go back. Go back to what? Go back to the slave shit we've been on? Go back to the plantation that we've been living on?
Yep.
Go back to blacks not getting any jobs? Mm-hmm. Where are we going back to? So I just want to ask the question, y'all. This is it. We did the recap. This was our special edition.
Yeah.
My amazing correspondent, co-host, Janice Dean is here with the champion for the truth. And I'm here, champion for justice, along with our team inside the room, Mahija and Dre and everybody else. We are leaving y'all with this. Watch it as you need to. We'll pull out clips as we need to. But again, we will not be intimidated by anybody in political position or any social media tough guy. Talk to us, because we're going to talk back. All right? We're going to give you the truth and the full truth. All right? So as black women, as black family members, we are not here to interfight. We are here to speak the truth and lift up our people. Mm-hmm. But we will not allow anybody to divide us and push us down ever.
That's right.
So we will continue to build on the recap. We continue to give a platform for anybody to speak. And if you have interest, here's a smile, and being a guest, let us know that you want to be on the recap. We will have you as a special guest. My correspondent here is always looking for special guests to be on. She might have a mic on the street with you saying, hey, got a couple questions to ask you. Look for us on primary day. You might see us out there with the microphone saying, hey, let's talk about how you're going out there to vote. You want to hear what people feel, so you might see us popping up at different stations, just asking people questions. So save the date, y'all. Thank you, Dre. Dre's on it. New Jersey primary election is on June 10th. That's next Tuesday. Polls open, I believe, at 6 a.m.? I believe it's 6 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Yep.
And as long as you are in that line, they cannot close that polling station.
Don't get out of line.
Don't get out of line. Stay in line. If you get there at 7:30, 7:45, 7:55 p.m., stay 7:59. Stay in that line until the last person votes, because your vote counts. We are in, as we say in our national world, they may run D.C., the people in the federal government, but they don't run our hood.
That's right.
We run our hood. So primary elections is how we run our hood. Vote your choice. Coming primary election, June 10th. We'll see you on the streets. Peace, y'all. We love y'all. The people have the power, all the power.
Power to the people.